So it is Saturday. I just got home from a dentist appointment. I had to run some errands. I have someone coming to help me put together my bedroom dresser because y'all, I'm through putting together furniture, okay? I don't even have time these days for that anymore. I'm not good at it. And I don't mind paying someone who is good at it to help me with that. And then he's also going to help me mount my TV. So I went to Best Buy to get the mount. And then I also ended up getting this long cover that I'm going to be using to cover the cord of the TV when he mounts it. And I also stopped and got me some food, y'all. So I went to Tropical Smoothie. I haven't been there in so long. So I went there, got a flatbread, a smoothie, and some chips. And then I also had to stop at Sephora. Y'all, Sephora was so crowded. Like, everybody and their moms in there. They were having a 15% off like store-wide sale. But the only thing I needed was this deodorant. And I have been using this for a while. So yeah, I just needed to restock on that. I was trying to decide, am I going to eat out for dinner or eat out for lunch? And y'all, this TV mount ended up costing $60. I didn't think it was gonna be that much, but I got one of the ones that like can swivel so the TV can move around because I don't want it to just be like locked in one place. Since I paid a little more for that, I just decided to do something not too expensive for lunch, and I'm definitely cooking dinner tonight. So I definitely left my apartment kind of in shambles, y'all. So I need to clean up. And then I also want to take things out of the box so they're kind of like already ready for the guy once he gets here tomorrow, and he can just kind of put everything together and yeah, be done with it. So I need to put up dishes, do some laundry, and then I also need to work on editing another vlog. So I'm probably just gonna do that, y'all. So I feel like I'm just still slowly getting my apartment together, which I am fine with because y'all, home stuff is so expensive. But I'm getting my couch next month. And then I also started looking at artwork because I know I'm gonna want to put something on this wall back here behind me. And then I'm also looking at bedroom art, something to go over my bed because we still have that pretty plain as well. Don't really have much going on in here. But yeah, this has been taking up a lot of my time. You guys just figuring out how I want things to go. But I am pretty excited about the bedroom dresser. So of course that is just gonna go here. And then I'm gonna decorate it. So yeah, y'all, this is just a process, but it's been fun, a fun process. So, and then of course I want to get some curtains in the bedroom and the living room. But yeah, let me go ahead and start putting up these dishes and start cleaning some stuff up because we looking crazy over here right now. I don't think I showed y'all these cute little coffee mugs. I found these at Target. They're so cute to me, so I got it in pink. And then I also got a purple and white one. These are like the cutest. Y'all, so I also got a PR package this week from L'Oreal. So they sent over a dark spots lotion, which has SPF 50 in it, y'all. So I am super excited about that because SPF 50 is a very high amount of SPF, which is really, really good. It means you won't have to reapply as often. So can't wait to see how this does on my skin tone. And I also ordered a few tops, y'all, from Abercrombie, but I'm not about to open these right now because I don't feel like it. I am just going to keep cleaning real quick. So y'all, I have everything out of the box. This is what the current situation is looking like, y'all. Shout out to the people that are good at putting furniture together, because it just looks like one big confusing puzzle to me. And I got the TV box open as well, so it'll be easy to get that out. So thank the Lord for apps like TaskRabbit and things like that. That's the app that I found the guy that's coming to help me tomorrow. I found him on TaskRabbit. Yeah, I'm just using the same guy because I feel like I trust him. It's kind of a risk anyway, letting somebody off of an app come into your house, but thank the Lord for apps like that, because I'm done being an independent lady with this kind of thing. I think right now I'm gonna go ahead and eat, because y'all haven't ate all day. I just came straight in and started cleaning, and really I wanted to get this stuff out of the way because I'm tired and I don't want to like eat and then get sleepy. So let me eat my little flatbread, which I'm sure is cold now, and then I'll probably take a shower, because y'all, why am I sweating? Okay, like I gotta get back in the gym, but I'm like sweating just from taking this stuff out of the box. I'm not doing anything tonight, y'all. I am just so exhausted and like glad to be able to stay in the house. I stayed up real late last night, y'all, watching this new Netflix series called Unlocked. I think it just came out on Netflix, but y'all, it was like a really good show. So at first I was looking at it, I was like, I don't want to watch nothing like that because I don't like seeing people in prison. It makes me sad, and at the end of the day, it's a lot of like black men that are in there. But I randomly decided to turn it on because it sounded kind of interesting. So basically they're doing this experiment, y'all, at this prison out in Arkansas, or did the experiment, and they ended up taking away the guards and just leaving the prisoners' doors unlocked, and just wanted to see, you know, if they could come together as a community and like get along. So it's just been really interesting and actually entertaining to see how they've been navigating the experiment and making it work. So y'all, I was up to like 2 a.m. looking at that. I'm almost done. I think it's only 8 episodes, but I really wasn't messing with it at first either, because I was just like, you know, they're exploiting these prisoners for this TV show, and it really is like real people in jail. So I don't know how I feel about that still. I don't like it, but I do hope that they are, some of the money they're making off the show, put it on them boys' books. They like some real reality TV stars out here now. It's crazy. But yeah, that's a good show. Y'all let me know if y'all watched it or have seen it as well. Hey y'all, happy Sunday. So y'all, just got my living room TV installed, and I just got my bedroom dresser put together, and I really like how the TV is looking so far. So this is what we got here, y'all. I got a lot of stuff to clean up, but yeah, this is what it's looking like. It's on a mount. So basically I'm going to get an extension cord to plug this into, and then wrap the rest of this up here at the top behind the TV, and then run the extension cord down and then cover that. Let me show y'all. I am not happy with this dresser, because this dresser, y'all, was like a $300 dresser, and it comes out just very old school to me, and there's no rollers. It's really just not easy to pull the, oh my gosh, y'all, this is getting stuck. So yeah, it's really just not easy to pull the drawers in and out since it doesn't have a track. But first of all, this took a lot to get in, and I definitely don't feel like taking it apart or sending it back. So I'm just gonna have to work with it. I'm actually just about to run to the store. I really don't need a whole lot at all for this week. I already have some vegetables for the week, and then I have some salmon, and then I want to get some chicken because I only have a couple more pieces of salmon. So yeah, and then I have a bag that I need to take to Goodwill, so I'll probably go ahead and throw this in the car with me as well. So I just finished taking all of my trash to my car. But y'all, I gotta eat because it's 2 o'clock and I haven't eaten anything all day. So I'm about to go ahead and fix myself some breakfast, even though it's 2 o'clock. I still want breakfast. All I know is my downstairs neighbors are literally doing the most. Like the whole time the guy that I hired is here putting up my stuff, they're just banging on the ceiling, y'all. Like, am I not allowed to put things up in my apartment? Like, I just got here. But you know what I think I'm noticing? I was having an issue with my upstairs neighbor, like hearing all of his footsteps, and then clearly downstairs they can hear everything. So I have just come to the assumption that the insulation here is minimal, especially on the ceiling or whatever. But it's just like, you don't live in a house. Okay, let me get my things put together. So they just gonna have to hold their horses because we definitely have more home projects to do in here. All right, but anyway, let me fix my food, y'all. Hey y'all, so I am back home. I went to Ulta to return that eyeliner that I needed to return, and then I decided to make pasta carbonara for dinner. So that is what we are in the process of making right now. It's almost 8 o'clock, so I feel like I'm making good timing because I want to go to bed sort of early tonight. I really just want to go into about some of the things that were in my last vlog. So in the last vlog, I kind of was catching you guys up over the past few months because vlogging took a back seat for me. I honestly was just getting ready to prepare to move. So I wasn't doing a whole lot, and I met someone, okay? Met somebody that I definitely started to take serious. Back then, I was still on the dating app. I was only on Hinge. Hinge is the one that I've been using the most recent. Basically, this past fall, I'm scrolling on Hinge, y'all, and I had the bright idea to put my Hinge location into other cities because I was at a point where I'm like, I'm just done dating in Atlanta. Let's just see what are in other cities. So I randomly put my location in Nashville. So y'all, don't ask me how or why, but I ended up matching with somebody in Alabama, in Huntsville. So never been to Huntsville. I don't even know anybody from Huntsville. It was just a new location for me. I remember it was a Saturday night. I remember that following Sunday, he sent me a message and we were just talking. I like the fact that he could hold a conversation because I feel like a lot of men today struggle with that. He definitely seemed very smart, had a business, also was working a 9 to 5. We just kind of sounded like we were on the same path, and things just felt really aligned from our first few conversations. So from there, started FaceTiming and everything just kind of evolved from there. I told him I live in Atlanta. We knew he was in Huntsville. We both agreed that we were cool with like trying to get to know each other long distance because at the end of the day, the drive to Atlanta or Huntsville is not that bad. It's maybe like 3.5 hours. Now looking back, it's pretty long to be driving that distance to waste your time. But anyway, he quickly made plans to come to Atlanta. At this point, I was just kind of trying to see, you know, because we all know how dating goes. You're just not sure if people are really going to follow through with what they say they're going to do. He was very charismatic. Let's just say that. He was very good with words, super well spoken. So of course the plan was for him to come to Atlanta first to meet me because I was like, I'm definitely not traveling over there first. So he was from Texas, originally was from San Antonio. At this point, we were following each other on Instagram. I was liking all his stuff. He was liking mine. I'm like leaving comment, you know, little like emojis on his stuff, little heart eyes. He kind of was doing the same thing on my page. You know how it is when you first meet someone, y'all. We go through comments, make sure you don't see, you know, anybody that would make it look like you're taken, you're married, whatever. So I didn't see anything. I was going through his tag photos. Everything looked legit. I will say it is a lot of red flags throughout our time meeting that I was ignoring due to all of like the positive, I guess, aspects of him. It was either the first or second week we met. He was going out to Texas to go to some state fair, and you know, was definitely telling me like, oh my god, I wish you could come. Do you want me to send you a ticket? And I can't remember what it was I had to do, y'all, but I had to do something. I just couldn't go. But I kind of was thinking anyway, like if I didn't have anything to do and if I was able to make it, would I really go? I didn't end up going. I think he left on like a Wednesday and was staying in Texas throughout that weekend. I think the fair he wasn't actually going to until Saturday or something like that. So he told me that he left early on Wednesday to just stop by a friend's house. And when we got each other's phone number, these first, honestly, the whole 5.5 months we were talking, we were for the most part on the phone 24/7. Like he stayed FaceTiming me. It was just constantly. I just had to check my bank and it has a couple more minutes. But anyway, so we were FaceTiming around the clock. He was out there in Texas, told me he left early to meet up with a friend or to meet up with some friends. So I didn't really question this a whole lot because, you know, I'm like, okay, that's your home state, that's where you're from. He told me he was stopping in Dallas, I believe, and said he had some friends in Dallas. And I think the fair was also in Dallas as well. So anyway, I wasn't questioning a whole lot about the situation. He was literally FaceTiming me on the way driving from, because he drove, he didn't fly or anything, driving from Alabama to Texas, for the most part, FaceTiming me like the whole time. And anytime I called him, he would pick up the phone. I guess red flag, main red flag, number one that stood out. He took so many pictures of himself, y'all. So he was definitely sending me a lot of selfies. So once he got to Texas, I do remember it was late. And he was like, I'm at my friend's house, and he sent me a photo in a bathroom. And I asked him, you know, what are you doing, where you at? And he was like, I'm with my friends. So it was late. We didn't really talk anymore throughout that night. Next couple of days, he was telling me I'm with family, you know, sending me a bunch of selfies, sending me pictures with his parents. He told me he stayed with friends one night in Dallas and told me the rest of the time he was staying in a hotel room with his parents. I was seeing the pictures of the parents. He was on FaceTime in front of his parents, saying my name in front of them. Like, I feel like it was little stuff like that he was doing to make you feel like it was only you and to make you feel like you were the only one he was talking to. So I definitely started to slowly believe him with that, because in the beginning I was like, let's just go really slow. You know, I don't trust you. But he was just doing all kind of little things to make you feel like, oh, okay, I can really believe you. So he spent the weekend in Dallas going to this fair. Definitely did not mention anything about another female. The way he was moving while he was in Dallas, I never would have thought it was another female. So he planned to come to Atlanta the next week. I was waiting for him to actually send me hotel reservations. So he ended up actually booking the room, y'all. Sent me the reservations. So he was saying he was gonna book something in the city, but actually ended up booking a hotel in Alpharetta. He was saying he didn't want to spend too much money on that, so we could have other money to, you know, have fun for the weekend. So I was like, okay, that's cool, whatever. You know, Alpharetta is only like 20 minutes from where I'm at. So that Tuesday leading up to that week, coming off of the Dallas weekend, I got a DM on Instagram, and I'm gonna pop the DM up on the screen, y'all, because this was red flag number 2. And I know that I should have taken this, just probably blocked him, but I wasn't sure, you know, who to believe in this story. Not saying that I thought homegirl who wrote me was like lying or anything, but I just wasn't sure, you know, because at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to watch out for both sides, like men and women. Both people can just maybe not have the best intentions. Basically was saying that, you know, she had been dating him for some time. It sounded like it wasn't that long from what I read. She was like, we just hung out this past weekend in Dallas. I ended up FaceTiming him, asking him about the situation, and he was just like, no, I matched with her on Hinge a little bit before you. I ended up liking you a lot more than I liked her. She just wasn't my type. You know, I saw that pretty quick. But I never met her before. Like, we never met in person. So the girl in the DMs was telling me stuff like they hung out in Dallas, they went to brunch, they went ring shopping. And the ring shopping, to me, she was talking about engagement ring shopping. She was saying that was her first time meeting up with him. So to me, that did sound a bit crazy. So I was thinking, okay, maybe she isn't telling the whole truth. He was like, yeah, I've never met her. We talked for a little bit on the phone. We didn't even FaceTime, you know, just definitely denying everything. But she was saying that she hung out with him and she can't get in touch with him now. And she wants to know what's going on with me and him to see how she needs to move. So I acted like I dropped it with him, but in the background, I was still like messaging her. I'm like, okay, if she's telling the truth, she definitely would have some pictures, something. But she basically was like, no, I don't have any photos, but I have videos. I got some videos. They were explicit videos. From the video, I could tell it was him, but she didn't end up sending me the videos, y'all, until he was like in his car on the way from Huntsville to Atlanta, like halfway there. He started sharing his location with me soon, like early on, before we even met in person. It was a way of him being like, oh, you can trust me, I'm serious about you. And I guess that was like red flag number 3. Had his location the whole time he was in Dallas. We had talked about so much so soon. Getting this DM definitely just threw me off. Getting the photos, I really didn't know what to do because he was on the way here. So I had to make a decision, and I was like, I'm either gonna meet up with him, and I know I'm not gonna be able to just like not say anything about this because this is crazy. Like, you really told a huge lie up front, or I could just block him myself and just let him come to Atlanta and just chill, which is what I should have did. I ended up meeting up with him. I went to the hotel, and so when I got there, y'all, this is like red flag, I guess number 5. He gave me a key to his apartment, and I know it sounds like everything is moving like super quick, which it was, and it definitely was more him just kind of acting like, oh my god, like I found the one with you, like I just I've been waiting for you my whole life. It was just that kind of energy he was giving off. So we ended up going out to eat, and I just ended up bringing up the situation, y'all, at the table, and I just could not hold it in anymore. And so basically he admitted to everything and was like, I'm so so sorry about lying. You know, I just liked you so much. I had just already planned to meet up with her. I just met up with her just because, but we didn't go wedding ring shopping. We did meet up. He admitted to everything except the ring shopping. It was like, it wasn't like that. I went into the jewelry store because I wanted to look at bracelets or something, and she was just there. The lady was like, oh, are y'all a couple? And I guess they just went with it, and so she started showing rings. But y'all, now that I look back, I don't even believe that story. But he pretty much told me he hung out with her one day while he was in Dallas, and then he went back with his family, and said after the entire weekend he blocked her. So I was just telling him like how messed up that is. Even if you didn't like her, like, why wouldn't you just pick up the phone or either text and just say something? You know, that was like red flag number 6. He pretty much was like, I told my mom about the situation. She told me I should just come clean, but I was just scared because I figured you wouldn't talk to me anymore. And so I was like, okay, well, since he has all these other qualities, like has a nice career, has the business, wants a family, saying he wants to be married, I was just kind of like, okay, we can continue to get to know each other, but it's gonna have to move slow. So throughout the weekend we were hanging out and we went to a restaurant to eat. The entire weekend he just kept kind of talking about being official. Oh, actually, y'all, let me back it up. The girl who wrote me on Instagram, she also sent me like a box of cookies or something he sent her through DoorDash. And the sticker on the box said, I love you. I also asked him about that. He was like, I just kind of chose that sticker. I was just trying to be nice. So he sent that to her before they met up. So I'm like, okay, clearly you were downplaying the situation with her. But at the end of the day, I was kind of feeling like I can't judge because I know I've met people that I was just kind of, you know, wasting time with in the moment. But the I love you to me was just taking it too far. And I didn't understand that. He just kind of wrote that off as well. So the whole weekend, he just kept saying, you know, like, we should just go ahead and be official. I just want you to be my girlfriend. So we were like literally at the bar, y'all. And this man started asking people around us, are you married? How long did you and your partner date, you know, before y'all became official? Like basically trying to prove to me that it doesn't take forever to know that somebody is the one. I still wasn't buying it all the way, but just the fact that you were doing all of that to like convince me, you know, to go along with being official after a couple of weeks, but yeah, I just still wasn't going for it. Outside of that, I feel like we had fun. He definitely taught me a lot about things. Like he was just a person that read a lot, knew a lot about business. So you know, I just feel like our conversations, they were more intellectual conversations outside of the rushing and the other girl. It was just, like I said, a lot of other positives that made me like keep talking to him. So it ended up being a straight weekend. We pretty much just talked a lot. We went out to eat, got drinks, and that was basically it. He went back home. When he got back home, of course, we kept talking a lot. We were talking daily. We would talk in the morning before he would go to work, before I would log into work. Be talking at night before we would go to bed. And he really just came off as such a focused person, like someone who was just so on top of their goals and stuff. He was actually doing really well in business. I just found it inspiring that he actually was doing what he was doing with the business in such a short amount of time. I thought it was really cool. He used to have like notes or whatever, like with business goals and 9 to 5 like to-do list kind of goals, added me on all of those lists and was just like, you know, I want you to know what's going on with the business and all this stuff. So eventually we ended up making a couples list because we did become official, I would say after a month and a half. That's when I felt more comfortable, you know, putting a title on things. And also to back it up some, y'all, you know, he was just telling me about Huntsville being a really small city, and you know, it's just not a lot of like quality females to choose from, and actually had an injury, tore his Achilles towards the end of 2022, I believe, going into 2023. He had to have a surgery and was telling me about, you know, like some girl he was talking to around that time and said she was getting ready to move. She was moving to DC, and on their first date, she was like bringing up marriage and was telling him, you're coming with me, we're gonna start this life together, and said she was moving too fast. And then said when he got injured, she just really wasn't checking on him. Nobody was really reaching out. He just didn't have anybody. So, you know, he also, I would say, used that to like manipulate me in a way, to just kind of be like, me getting injured, you know, just really proved to me that I need somebody in my corner. I need a wife. You know, it just had me reflecting on just life, and if I get older, I want somebody there beside me. When I met him, he was still in a healing phase, still kind of limping at times. It was definitely a pretty serious injury, and I felt bad for him, and I was like, wow, that's really sad. You know, I would never do anybody like that I was dating. He definitely used his injury to just help build his case with me. So eventually I planned to go there. I went to Huntsville. I started visiting him, and back then I was still in a shared apartment, so I didn't even mind going over there. I really just never really wanted him to come to my apartment per se, because I just knew that I was moving pretty soon, and I was just like, you can come visit me when I get my own space. I started visiting him when I would go over there. It was just like, let me show you my favorite pizza place. It was a lot of trying to convince me to move there. Let me show you my favorite place to do this. We were in restaurants. This is my girlfriend, speaking very confidently about, this is my girlfriend. I'm trying to convince her to move here. He had this little puppy that we would take on walks that I really started to fall in love with. So Christmas time was coming up, and he just was so pushing this, can you come home with me for Christmas? And again, to me, I felt like it was just too soon, and I was getting ready to move, and I wasn't sure who was about to pay for the plane ticket, because he didn't outright say I'll pay for the ticket. He just kept talking about covering the hotel for the weekend. I didn't really know what he had going on all the way. I can say when we met up the first time and when he came to Atlanta, we did lay everything out on the table, like finances. We talked about debt, everything. He told me like all his savings, retirement. We talked about all that, salary and stuff, goals about what we wanted in the future, where we wanted to live. But where he was going to move next was up in the air the whole time. He kept telling me my lease is about to be up in the spring, so I do need to make a decision. He was also applying to jobs in certain places, just trying to decide where to move next, because he was ready to leave his job. He kept trying to include me in that decision. It was just, which one of these cities would you prefer? You know, we were talking about what we would do if we moved to different cities. Like, would we get a townhome? Because I was leaning more towards townhome. He was leaning more towards a single family home on some land. It was just a lot, y'all, that we were talking about all day, every day. He would be sending me homes in Huntsville. So I'm like getting houses to myself, you know, asking, what do you think about this one? To further make me think he was serious. So Christmas time comes around. I definitely was not able to go out there. I remember he tried to say at the last minute, I was gonna get your ticket, but either way, y'all, it was just too last minute. So, and I know my family would have been like, you're going where? So yeah, I didn't even worry about it. I went to my home, he went to his home. He's FaceTiming me the whole time. Y'all, had me on the phone meeting his mom, dad, sisters. Like, y'all, he had some sisters that flew out from some other states, and a niece, and woke me up, y'all. I remember it was late, and he was just like, I really want y'all to meet my girlfriend. We're gonna be able to meet her soon. I hope y'all can meet. She's gonna be here next year. Woke me up to meet them. They were super sweet. You know, everybody I met seemed very nice. They seemed like a nice family, and they seemed like they like have fun together. And I also see myself marrying into a family that is a fun family that has fun together, because that's just what I want. Even though I said that I was okay just visiting Huntsville, there were times where he would be like, I'll come to Atlanta anyway. And it was a couple of times I was gonna let him, because I was just like, whatever. So I remember one weekend, y'all, he was supposed to be on the way here. It was like a Saturday, and I could not get in touch with him. I was just calling him. He ended up telling me his mom got sick, and he was freaking out about it, stressed over it, and just didn't know what to do. That was definitely like red flag number 7, because it's kind of like, if you're having a family issue, why would you not be able to talk to your significant other, your girlfriend? You should be comfortable telling me what is going on. You're not, so you know, why not? But I gave him his space. He didn't end up coming. He ended up going back home, actually, and stayed there a while. And so communication was very just not like what it was before. So I was just trying to give him and his family space, because I believed him about the sickness. And y'all, at this point, I'm talking to friends about everything, talking to a couple of my coworkers, I'm trying to get advice. I'm really still not even sure what's real and what's not with that. I don't know. I probably never will know. I don't have a clue. So eventually he did come back around, and when he was getting ready to go back to Alabama, you know, he was just acting like, I can't wait till I get back. You know, I would like you to be there as soon as I make it back. I really miss you. He definitely had started the I love yous by this point, so it was a lot of I love you, you know, I miss you. Let me back up. So his birthday is in December. At this point, this is December is starting to end, going into January, because he claimed he spent a good amount of time over in Texas still with his family. So his plan was to drive from Texas straight to Atlanta, but that was going to be a really long drive for him, and I just knew it was a stressful time in his life. And so I volunteered to just meet him in Huntsville when he got back. Actually, I passed the trip with my best friend. Me and my best friend went to Arizona. He was FaceTiming me the whole time. Towards the end of our trip in Arizona is when he was finally making his way back to Alabama after staying in Texas at his parents' house. And I felt really bad for missing his birthday in December and missing Christmas, since he kept telling me like, that's my favorite holiday. It's close to my birthday, my mom's birthday, grandma's birthday, everybody's birthdays around around the same dates, and it's just such a fun time for my family. I definitely got him some little items from some of his favorite brands, like his favorite candy, and I also got him a cake. And so it was a snowstorm coming pretty much the same Saturday I was supposed to go over there. And at this point, y'all, I didn't really know because I don't be watching the news like that or the weather. And I feel like this snowstorm came out of nowhere, and I had already bought the cake. So I was just kind of like, I really don't want this cake. I don't have anybody else to give it to. And I really did want to see him because we hadn't seen each other in like a month at this point. So I ended up going over there anyway. He had some interview coming up and was just like, yeah, I need to be doing interview prep. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I can just come Saturday and either leave Sunday before the snowstorms or leave super early Monday. Because he basically was like, if you stay here all week, you're going to be snowed in with me. I just know it. This happened last year. You know, it's just not going to be good. And I had a dentist appointment coming up that Friday. So I had a chipped tooth, y'all, and I needed to get it fixed. And I was like, I'm not missing my dentist appointment on Friday. So I'm getting out of here definitely before the snowstorm hits. So I went over there. Everything was pretty normal. It was really cold. So we didn't do a whole lot. We just got pizza. I gave him his cake and his gifts. You know, he seemed excited at the time. And then that Monday morning, he woke up at 5 a.m. I was just looking out the window and he seemed really worried, really fidgety. He was just acting to me a little abnormally nervous. So I was just like, let me get up, get my things and go, because this is kind of throwing me off. And I was thinking it was because of the interview coming up for him. He was just wanted to really prep for that because he had an interview that Tuesday and this is Monday. I got up, I left at 6 a.m. and I really did leave right before the storm got really bad. I let him know when I made it home. He ended up hitting me up on Tuesday after his interview. After that, I would say communication just kind of fell off again with him. And again, this is going into like mid-January. I'm thinking, you know, he was stressed out about the job because at this point I didn't really hear from him about whether he got the job or not. So I was just like, okay, overall this is a stressful time for him. So I still wasn't worried. We were still calling ourselves officially in a relationship. I just wasn't stressing it too much. We were still talking some. It just wasn't the way we used to talk. So eventually it got to the point where he stopped answering the phone altogether. I honestly just wasn't sure what was going on, y'all. This whole time I still had a key. And then I would say this was maybe about 2 weeks before my birthday, he stopped sharing his location. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I didn't really say a whole lot. I was just trying to figure out, where are you at? You know, like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Is your mom okay? So at the same time my birthday was coming up, he had asked before, what do you want to do for that? And my birthday is the day before Valentine's Day. So I was keeping the day open. We didn't really have a solid plan. And again, I was okay with that just because, again, he was looking for a job, dealing with his family stuff. By that time, I was getting ready to move. I'm like thinking maybe he didn't get the job and maybe things have just went left with his mom. It was the weekend, y'all, before my birthday that I was like, okay, this is getting crazy. You can at least text me, you can call me, you can say something. So I definitely started to call him and call. So he ended up sending me this photo. He said something like, I'm visiting my friend, you know, I'll call you back. I'm at a friend's child's game. And he sent me a picture of a basketball court. And so when I looked up the picture, y'all, it ended up being a school in Nashville. So I thought that was super random. That Sunday rolls around, I was just kind of like, okay, I'm done with this. It's a Sunday before my birthday. And I was just very upset at this point. I ended up going to Huntsville and I was like, I'm about to get all of my stuff. I got over there. I just took my things that I had left over there and I was on the way back to Atlanta. All of a sudden, my phone rings. It's his name on the phone. By this point, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, y'all, because I left pretty late in the first place. And I answered and it ended up being a female. And so she was basically like, who is this? And I was like, who is this? And she was like, it's girlfriend. And I was like, oh, this is his other girlfriend. Hey, how are you doing? And so yeah, so that's basically how I found out that he had another girlfriend. While I had her on the phone, I was asking her a couple of things. Like this entire time, y'all, he was hyping up the Houston rodeo. I was like, I can't wait to take you to the rodeo. I'm such a Texas man. I'm such a country man at heart. The Texas rodeo is everything to me. I was already putting my outfit together this whole time because this whole time he was like, I'm gonna take you to Texas to this rodeo. And he was like, you know, you're also gonna meet my friends and family and stuff while we're there. So I brought that up to the girl and she said she and him were also supposed to go to the Texas rodeo. I told her how I had met the whole family through FaceTime. She was like, oh, I also met the whole family through FaceTime. How in the world are you introducing everybody to your mom? Everybody's going to the Houston rodeo. Y'all, I don't understand how you have time for that. You got a 9-to-5, you got a business to run, you got employees working for you. I'm just like, okay, so wait, where y'all at? Y'all, this girl said they were here in Atlanta. Atlanta. So the whole time he was here in Atlanta with this girl. So I was like, where did you meet him? Did you meet him on Hinge? And she was like, yeah, we met on Hinge. We've been talking since November. We had all these trips and stuff we were planning, all kind of stuff. And he was like, yeah, we should open up a joint bank account and put some savings in there, you know, since we want to buy a house and like we want to take these trips. And she was like, wait, let me wake him up. He back here asleep. So I heard him in the background. I heard her say, who is D Willis? He saved my number or name in his phone as D Willis. And I'm like, girl, my name is not D Willis. It's Kim. And he just took the phone and hung up. To him, it was like it was just one big game. On the morning of my birthday, which was basically the next day, text my phone, happy birthday, Kim, with an exclamation point, y'all. Like none of this had ever happened. So I don't even understand. So to me, it does seem like something is mentally off, but I feel like the scary part with him was the fact that he could speak very well and just really was good at coming up with lies on the fly and coming up with words just off the top of his head that sounded good. It's really scary that people like this are on dating apps in the first place and preying on people who really are looking for love. The fact that you would just go to this link to play with somebody, I know that I overlooked a bunch of red flags. I should have cut him off when I first got the DM from the girl, and in the end, y'all, she ended up saying good luck. And that's what I wanted to tell the next girl, because it's like the fact that you got 3 girls you have done this to in less than 6 months, that is crazy. And in the end, he just ended up saying stuff like, y'all girls always just be getting mad when y'all don't get what y'all want. It's just a very odd situation. It's something I've never been through before. I'm honestly just used to guys who definitely don't take it this far to like lie or like manipulate you. I know you can meet crazy people also in person, and I know there are a lot of people that have met husbands on the apps. Obviously there are, like, I'm lacking in some areas for me to even ignore these red flags, or I know there's areas I need to build my own self-confidence up and build my own self-esteem up. But y'all, that is my story. Y'all be careful if y'all are out here still using the apps, especially on Hinge. This random man from Texas is probably still out there driving around terrorizing women in his little red Honda. So yeah, y'all just be safe if y'all see that on the apps. I feel like I wanted to tell this story as more of a warning and just show that obviously we all make mistakes. People are just crazy, y'all, so we just got to be careful, protect ourselves, and just continue to have very high standards. A lot of the women out here, our standards are on the floor, and that makes these guys feel more comfortable. I feel like doing this kind of thing. Whenever I do feel like getting back out there dating, I'm going to keep my standards sky high. But anyway, y'all, my bacon has been finished, so I'm about to continue making my pasta, and yeah, just honestly get ready to wrap up this vlog, y'all. Tomorrow is Monday. Definitely appreciate y'all for watching this video. Thanks y'all so much for watching. I will see y'all in my next video.